Hello learners, welcome to this beautiful session of ours today. I am your instructor CPA Ringo Frederick, and today's class, my good student, is a very interesting class because we are going to introduce a whole new unit that was introduced under this current system for CASNEB, and also a very interesting unit that will enable us to understand how the government normally tend to collect its revenue, how the government spends its revenue. In the event that you're having a deficit, how the government will tend to borrow, as well as the people who are charged with the responsibility of manning all these activities. That is, of course, financial administration. So you'll find that at this point in time, anytime we'll be handling this or rather this concept or a unit, you'll find that it's going to expand our knowledge wide to understand the whole accounting concept when it comes to public sector. The beauty part of it is also going to guide us. Remember, according to the Public Financial Management Act 2012, at this point you'll find that it's going to widen our mind clearly to be able to understand. Say, like whenever you're thinking of county governments, who are the persons responsible in managing these funds? Because we do understand that there's always that aspect of that cancer of corruption which has always been there in our counties. We know very well that the devolved government, it was a very golden opportunity to all of us, because you'll find that it will have it opened doors for us to be able to make sure that our counties are developed. But due to one or two things, because of this cancer of corruption, you'll find that we are not getting the fruits of this devolved money. So it will be upon you as an accountant, it will be upon you as a student who has studied public financial management to understand the whole of this process. And in that case, you'll find that if you are honest with your work, of course, accountability will increase. So the whole idea of public financial management is just for us to understand how can we manage public funds. You'll find that it will be a very, very interesting journey towards this unit. And therefore, to know that, I'm going to take you briefly through what will be expected to cover anytime we are handling public financial management. That is advanced, that is, of course, public financial management, advanced public financial management. So in this case, I'll want to take you briefly through the overview of what will be expected to cover, and of course, what we will be having in this case. So therefore, we are going to start with our topic number one, see what it entails, see what it entails, see what it entails. So topic number one, we will be required to understand, number one, this is our topic number one, we will be required to understand the aspect of introduction to public financial management. Introduction to public financial management. Introduction to public financial. Introduction to public financial management. Introduction to public financial management. Introduction to public financial management. It will be very key for us to understand the whole idea of what we will be expected to cover. Basically, under this topic, what will be expected to understand is understanding the scope, objective, and principles of public financial management. Talk about the relevance of Public Financial Management Act in management of public finances. Also, another element that will also be required to cover in topic number one, basically, it will be the review of the PFM Act. Whenever we're talking of PFM, ideally, you're talking of what? Public Financial Management Act. How is it important in implementing the public policies? Talk about the challenges affecting implementation of public finances, as well as a public financial management cycle. This unit, actually, it will kind of, it will give us a good foundation to understand the whole concept of public financial management. And by the way, we also have a text which is ready for the students who are doing advanced public financial management. We also have a text which is ready, a study class notes, which will be very, very vital and important for you guys. So after we are done with that case, we'll also be required to understand topic number. This is topic number 2. Basically, topic number 2, my good students, will be expected to cover now the public sector procurement. 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 You'll also find that a part of this is also under the PFM Act 2012, which described clearly what this entails. And at this point, we'll be talking about aspect of term it as a supply chain in a public sector. At this point, it will be very important for us to understand how procurement is normally being conducted in public sector. From the point of us announcing for maybe a service or work, to the point of applicants maybe doing or rather bringing their tender applications, to the point of selecting the person who has won the tender, up to the point when this tender is going to be actualized. So you'll find that under this point, public sector procurement, and at this point also be looking at it practically. How can you apply for a government tender? Yeah, because I know majority of us, you normally tend to try as much as we can to apply for government tenders, and you're not getting these tenders. So the reason, why are you not getting these tenders? Are you doing it correctly? Or you can say that I must know someone, lazima nijue mtu. You'll also find that at times it is also you who are messing up, right? There's a way that you can apply for this tender, and you never know if you've done it correctly. Of course, you can get such. So also at this point, you'll also be looking at basically the general procurement principles, which are very, very important. Basically, general procurement principles. Also, it will be very important for us to understand the procurement in the procurement cycle in public institutions. Also, it will be very important for us to understand the accountable documents applied in public procurement, as well as the roles and relationship between stores personnel, talk of procurement and supply chain officials in a public entity. Very important. Also, I know majority of us, we've heard of this term, IFMIS. Right? So you'll also find that we'll also be looking at IFMIS keenly, understanding the whole process of it, how it works from step 1 to step last. It will be very important also because you know it very well that under IFMIS, everyone has his own right. Probably I'm accounting officer, I'll be having my rights, and probably other person, procurement officer, will be having his or her own right. So you'll find that it will also be very important for us to understand how IFMIS work, which is very, very important. The other key element that we're also going to cover here under public sector procurement basically is a concept to do with the public-private partnership, right? Public-private partnership. In the event whereby I'm having a government coming together, they collaborate with the private sectors to deliver on some certain projects which will be beneficial to citizens, or rather to the whole mass as at large. So public sector procurement is very interesting and also very practical. I know you like this topic. Procurement. And I'm expecting a lot of questions when it comes to public sector procurement. Then talk about topic number 3, my good students. Talk about topic number 3. Topic number 3, we will be expected to understand the role of accounting officer in management of public funds. Talk about the role of accounting officers, the role of accounting officers, the role of accounting officers, the role of accounting officer, the role of accounting officers, of course, in management of public funds, in management of public funds, in management of public funds, in management of public funds. This one will also be very important. This one will also be very key, because at this point you'll find that you as an accounting officer, what will you be expected to understand? Very key, should be expected to understand the establishment of public funds. Also, we should also review of selected public funds, including maybe contingency funds. You've heard of equalization funds, right? All this aspect is what we'll be covering here. More so for equalization fund, that will be very, very important for us to understand how it operates, the aspect of contingency funds, how it operates. It will be very, very important for us to understand that, as well as the overview of general ITAX system. I know by now you must have used ITAX in one way or the other when it comes to filing of your returns. But remember, ITAX is more of just filing returns. ITAX is more of just filing returns. Understand that a majority of us, rather majority of you guys, you normally just know that ITAX is all about filing returns, but there is more to that, which in this case we'll be dissecting it much under this topic, though on the area of what? On the area of just understanding how we should manage these funds of ours. Then that should take us to topic number 4. That should take us to topic number 4. Actually, we have 12 topics. We do have 12 topics in this unit. We have 12 topics in this unit. So taking us to topic number 4. Taking us to topic number 4. Topic number 4, we will be expected to understand this topic basically will be covering management of public debts, management of public debts, management of public debts, management of public debts, management of public debts in both national, and county government, and county government. That is, of course, management of public debt in both national and county government. At this point, my good students, you'll find that management of public debt is always very important. Because remember, we'll only take, or rather we'll only kind of request for a financial, or rather a debt, in the event that our revenue, or rather in the event that our expenses have exceeded our revenue. This is how it normally happens. So that you guys should understand. We normally tend to have public revenue, right? I want to get this very clear. We normally tend to have public revenue. This aspect of us collecting the revenue from whichever source that you can collect. Should it be tax? Talk about aspect to do with fines. Talk about penalties and all this, right? In this case, you are talking about collecting of these funds. After we've collected of these funds, what will happen? After we collect the funds, what will happen? We're going to talk about what? Public expenditure. Talk about public expenditure, right? I must use this aspect of revenue that we've collected, of course, for aspect of what? Providing services, required services to the citizens, right? So in the event that you'll find that my public expenditure has exceeded our public revenue, what are we going to do, my good students? We are going, of course, to borrow. We are going to borrow. And that's what will bring us to what? Aspect of what you are referring to it as what? Public debt. So for public debt, we normally tend to talk of two, of course. In this case, we'll be talking of what? We can borrow externally. And of course, you can borrow externally. And of course, you can also borrow what? Internally. You can borrow externally and also talk of what? Internally. Where in this case, this is externally, or both can work either side. I know you've heard of Eurobond. Yeah, I know you've heard of Eurobond. This is one way of sourcing for funds, right? These are debt, form of a debt, right? So, and I know if I ask you guys, even you guys, you are doing accounts, if I ask you what to define a Eurobond, what can you say a Eurobond? Bond that is originated from Europe? No. I'm giving you an assignment. Kindly go and check what Eurobond is, right? Go and check what Eurobond is. So basically, you'll find that topic number 4 is going to give us a whole overview of how we are going to manage this public debt. That is, of course, at the national level and as well as the county government, which will be very, very important. And at times, you normally tend to use this debt in a way that's not supposed to be used. This is where wastages will come. Wastages will come as a result of what? Probably what you're terming it as a cancer in this country. which is corruption. Because I know if you can be able to eliminate that growth, that cancer, right? If we can be able to take it to chemotherapy and all the other aspect of process are supposed to use to eliminate this cancer, trust you me, this country will be very far. This country will be very, very, very far, right? So we've talked of topic number 4. Then let us also analyze topic number 5 and see what this entails. So topic number 5, my good students, will be expected to understand topic number 5. In this case, you'll be expected to understand what you're referring to it as what? Public investment and enterprise management. So topic number 5. This is aspect to do with the public sector investment, public sector investment, of course, and enterprise, public sector investment and enterprise management. So basically, what should we be able to understand here? What you should be able to understand here, my good students, basically, these are what we normally refer to as the departments that have been set in place, like say establishment and roles of public financial management, reform, overview of development partners and donor funds. Whenever we're talking of grants, what do we mean when we're talking of grants? Whenever we're talking of donation, or rather donors, we normally tend to hear like we do have various donors. Basically, what is the process of us accounting for all these elements, as well as, of course, resource mobilization in public financial management, of course, Act. So basically, these are what will be expected to cover in topic number 5. What about topic number 6? What will topic number 6 entails? My good students, topic number 6 is also very interesting, because at this point, we should be able to understand the reforms that have taken place ever since. Right? So what will be expected to cover here, basically, this is public financial management reforms. Public financial management reforms. Public financial management reforms. This is what will be expected to cover. Public financial management reforms. That is what will be expected to cover. Which in this case, what will it entail? Probably one will ask Mwalimu, what are these reforms entailing? So in this case, we'll find that basically it will be upon us to understand the whole concept. Basically to do with the process, or rather how these reforms have been growing from time to time, which is very, very interesting. Then after we're done with that, take us to topic number 7. I know this is where auditors are always very happy. Yeah? Which this is where auditors are very, very, very happy. So in this case, topic number 7, my good students will be expected to understand. Topic number 7, we will be expected to understand what we're referring to as what? Internal auditing in the public sector. 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 I know any time we normally tend to hear of auditing, audit, we are always tend to be shaken. Why should we shake when we hear audit if we are clean, right? Only just a matter of verifying that whatever that we've been doing is correct. Why should we shake if at all we are clean, right? So you'll find that basically this rather internal auditing in the public sector is always very, very key. As much as we normally don't tend to use this concept as it should be in a public sector, but it is always very key. When we'll be analyzing the concepts under internal auditing in public sector, you'll find how important is that, right? So topic number 8, my good students, topic number 8, will be expected to understand what you are referring to as the Office of the Attorney General, or rather the Office of the, not Attorney General, but Auditor General. I don't know why we're talking of Attorney General. So about the Office of the Auditor General. 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 I know for sure if this was a live class and I would have asked who is our current, that is Kenya of course, who is our current Auditor General. I know majority of you can't mention her by name. I've given you a clue. It's her, right? You can't, and I know majority of you probably you don't know her name. You don't know the team. Even may ask probably before the current Auditor General, who was there? Can you give us a history? Can you give us a history of Auditor General? That should be your assignment. That should be your assignment, right? So after we've talked of our topic number A, the Office of the Auditor General, my good students, understanding how it operates, the roles of this office in management of public financial, or rather in the management of public finance, you'll find that it will open our mind wide for us to understand the whole of these concepts. Then that should take us to topic number 9. We'll say that this unit has basically 12 topics. So topic number 9 will be expected to cover what you are referring to as appointment of receiver of revenue. Appointment. Talk about appointment of receiver, appointment of receiver, appointment of receiver of revenue, appointment of receiver of revenue. I know one will ask Mwalimu, who is this receiver of revenue? Who is this receiver of revenue? Remember, according to our Public Financial Management Act, of course, 2012, it has clearly described what will entail appointment of a receiver of revenue. Basically, I'll just give you a clue. Anytime you're talking of receiver of revenue, these are persons who normally tend to collect funds on behalf of the government. A good example is Kenya Revenue Authority, right? Kenya Revenue Authority is a very good example of receiver of revenue because you'll find that they are collecting taxes on behalf of who? On behalf of the government. So under this topic, basically, you'll find that as much as it is not wide, but it will be very key. Because at this point, you'll be expected to understand some of the key terms or rather important concepts like the role of, first of all, the definition of the receiver of revenue, role of accounting officers in management of receivers of revenue, talk about procedures for revenue classification, accounting procedures for the receivers of revenue. A very interesting topic, a very, very interesting topic. Then talk about, that should take us to topic number 10. Topic number 10, my good students, will be expected to cover what you're referring to as management of consolidated funds, right? Management of consolidated funds. Management of consolidated, management of consolidated, management of consolidated funds, management of consolidated funds, management of consolidated funds. This is where our work is now. This is where our work is now. It's not that it is kind of challenging, but let me mark it with a different. Let us have an asterisk on this topic here. Management of consolidated funds. You'll find that this is where the cash will come in the government, and this is where the cash is going to be kind of withdrawn from the government. So it's very, very key. I think majority of the people, they normally tend to fight to control this. I don't know why. It should be for the benefit of the citizens. But when you be analyzing this concept, consolidated funds, you'll find that this is one of the key concepts in public financial management. This is one of the very key concepts in public financial management. That is, of course, consolidated funds. Now, once you're done with that, I know some will be asking, Mwalimu, yes, this is an overview. Why is it wide like that? It is very wide. I'm trying to explain as much as I can each concept so that we must be able to understand what we will be covering on that. So topic number 11, in that case, we'll be talking about what? That is, of course, topic number 11. We'll be talking of what we're referring to as management of revenues in county governments. Watu wa county tumewafikia. Management of revenues, 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 of course, in county governments. Watu wa county tumewafikia. In county governments. Watu wa county tumewafikia. So, how are we supposed to kind of manage these funds? I wish I gave this chance. At least to share this knowledge with these guys who have just been elected. Right? With these guys who have just been elected. I wish I gave that chance so that when it comes to management of revenues in county governments, if I can get this chance, I can really kind of assist more so. We are talking of MCAs who have just been elected. We are talking, of course, of the whole county assembly when it comes to governor and going downwards, right? So, you'll find that when the new constitution came, that was, of course, 2010, and, of course, we are talking of the devolved governments, you notice that it was very interesting, and all of us had that dream that these funds, they are going to help they are going to help each and every citizen in the country, because now the funds have been devolved. Pesa mashinani, right? That is what we were expecting. Yeah, there are some counties which this cash has really helped, but majority of the counties, sincerely speaking, we know what is happening, right? We know what is happening. So you'll find that basically the good thing is that initially this wasn't in CPA, but now because they have brought this in CPA, I know we are going to learn. And if we learn, we can apply this knowledge and assist probably in making sure, or rather in cleaning our county governments. That is my prayer. Finally, topic number 12. In this case, we'll be covering public sector budgeting and planning. Public sector budgeting, public sector budgeting and planning, public sector budgeting, public sector budgeting and planning, public sector budgeting and planning, public sector budgeting and planning. That is very important, right? Understanding public sector budgeting and planning. And this will be one of the most interesting topics and one of the widest topics that we'll be having in this course. So, public sector budgeting and planning basically will entail the provisions of national budget in line with the PFM Act, talk about principles of soundness of the budget and the public sector budgeting, stakeholders in the public budget making process. Very interesting, because we normally expect that between of course between May and June, we normally tended to expect, of course, our budget to be read by the Cabinet Secretary of Finance. So you'll find that it's very interesting to understand how this process normally tend to take place. So, this is what will be expected to cover in public financial management, guys. And on this, I'll want us to approach this unit with a very open mind. We should be very open-minded, because it touches on a practical issues that we normally tend to face and see every now and then. So this unit is very interesting. This unit is going to open our mind wide. And the good thing is that it's a unit that has just been introduced. And as I had said earlier on, we have the class notes which are ready. We have the class notes which are ready for public financial management. You can always reach us on the number that we just indicated below if you are really in need of these class notes. And of course, we'll be there to assist you guys. So in our next class, guys, we are going to introduce topic number 1. That is Introduction to Public Financial Management. And we also have live classes for these classes, by the way, which you can join at any given point in time. We have live classes for Advanced Public Financial Management on Saturdays and Sundays only. Saturdays, we have this class from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. On Sundays, we have this class again from 2 to 4 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, that is for live virtual classes. So we have another package which is what? Pre-recorded version of the class, which you can get the videos at once from topic 1 to the last topic. To study, enjoy the class, put on your notes. In the event that you're having any question, you can always engage us. So that is what we are doing. And trust you me, these are very, very interesting unit. So to this point, guys, thank you so much, and let us meet in our next class. Thank you, guys.